Another wild ride on the Trump tariff coaster, stocks seeing green, with President Trump authorizing a 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs for the 75 countries that haven't retaliated, but across the board, 10% still in effect. Trump the merciful, giving nations a break as he turns the big guns on China, slapping the commies with an increased tariff that is now 125%, and says it's based on the lack of respect. 47 says, just be cool.
Just be cool. It's going to work out. Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know. They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid. Nothing's over yet, but we have a tremendous amount of spirit from other countries, including China. China wants to make a deal. A deal's going to be made with China. A deal's going to be made with every one of them. And there'll be fair deals. I just want fair. They will be fair deals for everybody. The big move wasn't what I did today. The big move was what I did on Liberation Day. You have to have flexibility.
And the White House is telling China and the media they should have read The Art of the Deal.
This was his strategy all along, and that, you might even say that he goaded China into a bad position. They responded. They have shown themselves to the world to be the bad actors. And we are willing to cooperate with our allies and with our trading partners who did not retaliate.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here. You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China.
Be cool, Jessica. Just be cool. Are you cool?
Not so much.
No?
Not cool. A little hot. It's great to be here.
Around the table.
Around the table.
You're saying that now?
To be
Good
back.
opening line.
Thank you. Trump even admitted that it wasn't the art of the deal or be cool. He said he was watching the bond market. And that's what decided this. He had to cave. I think CNBC's Steve Leisman, he said he didn't just flinch, he ducked. There are trillions still lost. And our very own Charlie Gasparino has been on for the last couple of hours saying that he wished it weren't so, but that the truth is that the White House capitulated. We still have tons of tariffs on, even our closest trading partners. They still don't make any sense. There's a lack of clarity on the specific numbers for Mexico and Canada. But what always sticks out to me when we go on this, on this Trumpian merry-go-round is the ritualistic humiliation that he subjects the people who work for him to. So Besson says this was the plan all along. So you were okay then with being made out to be a complete liar because you've been doing interviews on our network, going on the Sunday show, saying absolutely not, that we're not capitulating on this. We're not going back on it. Caroline Levitt calling fake news as recently as yesterday. Lutnick, he was on with you multiple times, it felt like, or it was the world's longest interview, talking about how this isn't a joke and, we'll be a manufacturing economy, which we don't even want to be. And I'm looking at how we got to this point, and obviously the market had to do it, the bond market in particular, once Japan started selling them off. And did you know earlier this afternoon that Greek bonds were a safer investment than U.S. 30 years? Can you believe that? The Greeks?
Jessica, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do.
You don't even know what a bond is. Now, Judge Jeanine, Jessica keeps on saying that Trump caved. How is this a cave if he got 75 nations to get to the negotiating table and redo their tariffs against the United States?
You want me to answer the question? Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. China was always the end game. Trump won. He's doing exactly what he said he would do. He said there would be short-term pain for long-term gain. He literally got everybody in the world to come to the table, or they're trying, they're calling, they're flying in, they're trying to make a deal. And he sent a message to those countries that were willing to make a deal with the United States. Let's do something mutually beneficial for both of us. Right now, his timing was right to the edge, and it was a business decision to get everyone to the table so everyone can win. If there's a standoff, nobody wins. But now, this is the biggest win for America because we've got a level playing field. We are no longer a doormat for other countries. We've got a president who has the capacity, the ability, and the stamina to fight to make sure that we are at least a manufacturing country again. You say United States doesn't want to be a manufacturing country. We lost 90,000 manufacturing businesses. We want to be. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. All right. What we want is we want everyone who needs us to, number one, be able to rely on us, and we need to be able to work with them. And they will reap benefits by working with us. And we can create a group deal around China, whether it's Taiwan, Vietnam, and North Korea, South Korea, and trying to make sure that we get people who want to work with us. China can bully us, there's no question about it, but they need our market and they need our customers. And right now, the Dow is dancing. The market moved up with incredible velocity, and the S&P for the year is down only 7%, which is nothing. All he cared about was a good result and creating a deal, and that's what he got.
Now, Greg, everybody that now is negotiating with the president knows the pain that tariffs can cause their economies. So when they're cutting a new deal, Trump can just say, all right, I don't like where this is going. Tariffs are going back up.
Becomes bespoke.
Tailored
tariffs. I'm very happy for Madagascar. I was worried about not getting my vanilla or my cloves. Judge is right. There's two steps here. China was isolated. All the other countries are coming to the table, done and done. If this upsets Democrats, you have then made another odd group that you have sided with. Tesla vandals, migrant gangs, men invading women's spaces, and now communist China. It is hysterical to me what Trump forces you to defend. You know, if Trump would come out in defense of puppies, the Democrats would firebomb the pound. But anyway, the bigger story, if you look at the stock market, is this flip. I remember when the Democrats were the party of Main Street and the Republicans were the party of Wall Street. Something's happened. Have you noticed? And I think, Trump, it's been going on for a while. This isn't an anomaly. Trump is radically, pathologically Main Street. If you step back and you look at the entire package, right? So sealing the border, that's Main Street. That ain't Wall Street. Deporting criminals, that's Main Street. Getting creeps out of women's sports, Main Street. Going after fentanyl, Wall Street didn't care about that. That was hillbilly heroin. That's Main Street. We all knew somebody who died from that. And the zebra mussels, the fish, Main Street. Trump's radical in the thing that, all of these issues rely on the fundamental mechanism of Democrats and Republicans' survival through kicking the can down the road. Every single issue, they kick the can down the road because they don't want to engage any risk that would cause them to lose an election. He's got midterms in 2 years. He doesn't give two Fs. He's doing this. You might not see the results of this in 3 years or 4 years or 10 years. He doesn't care. It is radical that he is not relying on that survival mechanism, which is he's crushing the can. He ain't kicking it. That's amazing. Meanwhile, you got to look at the elites. All the people screaming about the stock market, these were the experts that said 2 weeks to stop the spread. That the P-tape is real. The laptop is fake. The border's secure. Russian collusion's really happening. Joe Biden is fine. And then when they pretend to have a solution, what is the solution? Giant programs, lots of spending, and war. Those are their solutions. And he's against it. He is perhaps the most radical president we've ever had. And I think this is why the Democrats are so confused. They're so used to being on the motorcycle, wearing the leather jacket. Now they're Dean Warmer, with a buzz cut, smoking their pipe, going, "What? The world is passing me by."
Dana, your philosophy this whole time has been, let's just wait and see.
And I'm still there.
Taking it day by day.
Still there because in 90 days, the laws of economics are not going to change. The laws of economics and the laws of they're just the laws. And that's the way that they are. That's the facts. And I think the pause was the right decision. I think the messaging is a huge shift as well.
Earlier today, with Maria Bartiromo, CEO of J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon said it would be good to let Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, take the lead here and not to have so many different voices saying different things. And which is interesting because all of those different voices today are claiming that they were right and that they're the genius, right? I mean, so something that to me is weird. I also think that a lot of the issues, though, that President Trump is doing, it's not just Main Street. These are like 90-10 issues.
Yes.
And that 90% of the country agrees with him. So that encompasses a lot of people on Wall Street as well. And you have a ton of people who were saying, excuse me, sir, but I just lost, $10,000 of my 401k, and that matters to them. And so when he says people are getting yippee, I think that Bessent was able to say, sir, we need a minute here for us to get this under control and for me to be in the lead. And to me, Bessent taking the mic today was a great thing. I would add one other thing about COVID, and it's gotten swept under the rug, obviously, by China, but also by the Biden administration. There is a new report out of the Free Beacon that there were a few, it was like
7?
4 or 5, Americans who came down with COVID in October of 2019. And the Biden administration got this report and they buried it. So if I were Bessent or Trump or those guys, if they're coming up with yet more reasons to do the trade war with China, I think uniting the world against China on COVID is a really good one. Remind them of what we've all gone through, what we're still going through, what the children of this nation are going through, especially in this country, who, because their test scores are way down, they missed all that schooling, their maturity is way down, their lives are going to change dramatically because of what they lost, not to mention all the people who lost their loved ones. So there is a way to try to get that. But I would just end by saying, I think the pause is the right thing to do, but it didn't even have to get this way. It could have been done another way. You could do it the hard way or the easy way. I think that this was kind of the harder way, but maybe it's genius and everybody can claim that they were right.
Maybe it's genius.
Yep, I'm with you, Jesse.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.